We have an incredible lineup of companies from around Oregon to pitch here tonight. And once we've heard from all 10 early stage companies, voting will open, results will be tallied, and then announced at the end of Pub Talk. So just wait for my cue. I got you. I'll give you all the instructions. We've got 3 expert judges in the mix this evening. They will be voting for 2 of the 5 panelists headed to the BVC stage, leaving 3 for you as our audience to determine at the end of the night. Please help me welcome to the Pub Talk stage Jen Lynch, Managing Partner of the Bend Venture Conference Growth Fund, Lisa Hovey, Fractional Chief of Staff and Startup Consultant at Evergreen Growth Collective, and Dawn Mill, EDCO's Bend Area Director. Jen Lynch is returning for her 4th year as the managing partner of the Bend Venture Conference Growth Fund. She's also a managing partner at Portland Seed Fund, a venture capital fund that invests in early stage companies based in the Pacific Northwest. She has been investing with Portland Seed Fund and as a limited partner and angel investor in several local funds for 15 years. Jen also chairs the Oregon Innovation Council and serves on the board of the Ben Lapine Education Foundation. Thanks for being here, Jen. Good to see you. Lisa Hovey is a seasoned operator and business consultant for high-growth startups, partnering with CEOs and executive teams to steer through crucial growth from seed stage through IPO. As chief of staff, she has navigated the journey from bootstrap to unicorn, directed business diligence and $300 multi-million plus funding rounds, scaled processes and teams from less than 50 people to over 6,000 employees, and led significant business transformation efforts. Passionate about the startup space for the impact, energy, and potential, she now consults and does fractional work with startups in a wide range of stages and industries. Lisa is also committed to supporting women in all aspects of their careers. She recently completed a fellowship with Rogue Women's Fund and co-founded the Deschutes Women in Business Group right here in Bend. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. Dawn serves as EDCO's Bend Area Director and is responsible for supporting EDCO's mission of creating a diversified local economy with a strong base of middle-income jobs in Central Oregon. His economic development efforts focus on guiding employers from outside the region in relocating to Bend, managing incentive programs, and working closely with Bend's traded sector companies to help them grow. In his former role as Chief Financial Officer for over 3+ decades, Dawn led successful rapid growth venture capital, private equity, and publicly traded healthcare companies through national expansion and ultimate exit. Covering healthcare services, biotech, and medical device sectors, Dawn has led multiple private and public financings and M&A transactions. Early in his career, Dawn co-founded TheraTX, which was identified as number 2 in Inc.'s fastest growing small public companies in America, and together with co-founders was recognized as Entrepreneur of the Year by Inc. magazine. Our own Dawn Mill, welcome. Thank you all for being here. Now let's get started. Each company will have 3 minutes to pitch, followed by 3 minutes for Q&A, meaning we only have time for 2 or 3 questions tops, and we're gonna ask you to keep your questions really clear and succinct. And then the first question is always gonna go to the judges, so be prepared for that. And then also remember that if you're in the audience, I'm gonna have to repeat your question so everyone can hear it, so just bear with me for all of that. So remember, these are early stage companies. They may not have all the answers yet, but they're getting there. So, first early stage company, are we ready? Deo from Portland, Oregon is a free rewards app and marketplace that helps users lower their social media use. Tell me more.
Would anyone like to come join us a little bit closer? Okay, where's my clock? Do I have a clock? Oh, there it is. Awesome. Very weird. Should I just go? Okay, hi, I'm Corey Sholabo, the co-founder and CEO of Deo. How many people here have tried to use less social media? Raise your hand. How many people have failed to use less social media? Raise your hand. Okay, well, that's what Deo is all about. We're here to help you use less social media, be present, and get presence. That's our motto. Our other motto is scroll responsibly. Deo is about helping you use less but not no social media and competing against the addictive technology that these tech giants have put together. How it works is we have an app that seamlessly follows you and monitors your social media use. And for every minute you can stay offline, you're actually going to get money, cash in a wallet that you can use against our marketplace of partners and goods and services. So if you wanted that pair of Nikes or a watch because you're a runner and you want to monitor your heart rate, you can like it in our marketplace and work towards a goal of getting up to 50% off that product. our partners are already working with us to help you motivate in order to use less social media. It's a win-win economy between the two. Again? The reason we're doing this is because we believe that social media is kind of the problem right now. Hopefully we can all agree. It's not that it's the worst thing that can happen. It is necessary. In fact, the American Psychological Association would say that 30 minutes a day is net positive. You're supposed to go on and see my dog. I'm supposed to see your kid. And we're supposed to catch up and then get off. But we stay and we doom scroll and we compare and despair. And this is where the mental health crisis comes in. The Surgeon General has already said that the social media is a cause of the loneliness epidemic, and he has put the entire weight of the Surgeon General's office behind it. Suicidality in young girls is up to 25%, and that's stage 2 of a 4-step plan, not just ideation, making a plan. And so we know that this is causing schisms in our democracy. It's making it hard for us to address the climate change crisis. It's making it hard for us to address the AI revolution that's coming on. And so what are we going to do about it? Well, all of the apps and products that are out there are just saying use less, use less. But imagine there's heroin on every corner and people tell you not to use heroin. It's really hard to do. So we're going to rewire that neural pathway. And for every time you want to pick up your phone and use Instagram, you're going to remember that you're working towards a goal. You're going to get a product. You're going to get a reward if you succeed at our product. We put these funny little things out. They're kind of a gimmick. But basically, it's a screen cover. It's removable and put back on. And you can just put it on your phone. And it's a reminder that we're trying to get off of our phones and get in real life. We're also going to have really great experiences, so you and your friends can challenge each other to maybe use 30 minutes less a day for 14 days and win a free drink and meet each other for that drink. The idea is to get you together in person and off that screen. And Deo is the first technology that's going to do that with a rewards-based marketplace, and we hope that you will all download it. It is on the Apple Store right now. However, it is in beta, so please be kind and let us know what you think. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
You're not leaving.
In my heart, I've already signed up.
Thank
This
you.
is amazing. Okay, I'm going to shoot it over to the judges for your first question.
Okay, tell me more about the rewards-based marketplace. So you have to sell, what are you selling?
So our primary business model is, the first business model will be when you check out and buy a product. So let's say our partner is Rumple, one of our partners is Rumple. You would have a $100 blanket. They're going to sell it to you for $50 if you can earn the $50 by staying off social media. So they're participating in your mental health and giving you a discount in the process. It will be far beyond what you can get on Amazon, their website, email, etc. That's the primary marketplace
But
part.
how do you make money on that transaction?
I make a percentage of every, I make a commission percentage of every transactional sale, starting at 5 to 10%, and our margins grow to 40% over the next 4 years.
Okay, great. And then how did you get Rumple as a customer?
Rumple, so the reason that brands are really interested in niche marketplaces is that it's really hard to make money on D2C, as I'm sure everybody knows. CAC is extremely high, AOV is extremely low. It's become difficult to acquire a customer, 12 attribution points instead of 3. So brands are looking for these opportunities. And there's a lot of other apps that are doing marketplaces, extractive, terrible marketplaces, but the brands are already aware of this concept. They also like the concept of cross-selling so that their product is in multiple locations. We have 50 brands and 500 products currently on the marketplace, and we just got our first check. We won AO Tech on Tuesday, Portland. We are the winner of the AO Tech Fund this year.
Awesome.
So that's really going to help us move it to the next level.
Amazing. I mean, this is fantastic. I'm totally on board. Do I have any questions down here from the audience? You can just raise your hand.
Don't be shy.
I know, don't be shy.
Pick up
well,
one of
I
them.
actually have a question. So,
Yes, ma'am.
As a user, like you're in beta, you've got people who are using it, and what is being reported? Is it working?
Yeah, it works great. The app will track whatever you wish. We actually cracked Apple's API so we can actually track all your screen time, but we're focused on social media because there's a really clear net negative. The report has been great. They love the products in the marketplace. We have 300 people testing it now. We'd already pre-tested the concept, so we went out, for instance, and blanketed the entire city in QR codes that say, would you get paid to use less social media? And 600 people scanned it within a week. The concept is sort of proven. So now we're trying to prove the market fit as far as moving people to the funnel to purchase, and we only have 250 users, but that is really where people are at. They love the products. It's going to be the hottest D2C brands, Fellow, Kettles, Rumple Blankets are all on the platform. Tushy's on the platform. We've already done that. And we're adding about 50 brands every quarter. So people really love that.
Amazing, amazing. I love it. Okay, question right here.
A lot of technical.
So she's asking, do you set a specific time that you want to achieve?
Really great question. So we are basing it on the delta. The average global user is using 2.5 hours a day. The American Psychological Association will tell you 30 minutes a day is net positive. So we have taken the delta from 30 to 2.5 in the MVP, and you will get 30 minutes free and clear, and then after that, you will see $5, because it equates to $5 a day, and after that 30 minutes, every minute you're online, it'll start to tick down, $4.99, $4.98, $4.97. That is the gamification FOMO model that helps you want to stay off. There's also a reminder at 30 minutes, a reminder at 90 minutes, a reminder at 120 minutes. Hey, these are your goals. And by the way, remember those Nikes you wanted? They're only an hour away. Like, it's going to connect you to your reward. And so continually reminding you, why am I doing this? I want a reward. And yes, we all want to do it for altruistic reasons, but we don't. We just click ignore. We just put our phone in the fridge and then we take it out of the fridge. We can't control ourselves. We need something to help us do something that's rewarding as well and not just yelling at you. We have
and
both.
Is it a banner notification?
We right now have banner notifications, but the full screen notifications are a really interesting idea, and the tech team is looking at that too. So what I really want to do, and I'm running out of time, is have it all be customized for you, and that'll be in the next build. So what if you want to hear from me every 5 seconds or every 5 hours? You should be able to choose. I'm an asshole. Like, you need to tell me every 10 minutes, or I won't listen. Or you're like, you know what, I'm good. Just tell me halfway through the day, and I'll remember. That should be your choice, and that's what we want.
I'm on board. This is awesome. Great pitch. Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
I feel like that one was just for me. You know what I mean? Hopefully I'm not the only one. Okay. Our second early stage company, Ranger EV from Portland, Oregon, is a scalable software solution that allows vacation rental hosts to sell energy to guests with electric vehicles. Take it away.
Hey, Bend. So I saw a Rivian and a Ford Lightning out there. How many EV owners do we have in the audience? All right, this pitch is for you. So I'm Brian Clark. I'm the founder of Ranger EV. I founded the company because I wanted to be a part of building climate solutions, and I saw a large opportunity in electrifying travel adventures. So Ranger EV is an energy sharing and payments platform that we specifically designed for the renewable energy economy. And it's our solution to the charging anxiety problem that we face as EV travelers, but also experienced by our hosts. So if we just quickly get on the same page, transportation remains the largest source of greenhouse gas emissions here in our home state of Oregon. And charging anxiety has now replaced range anxiety as one of the biggest barriers to electrification within the space. And that's because modern EVs, like my electric Rivian, I have plenty of range to get from Portland to the Oregon coast to surf with friends. But I have this fear and anxiety once I'm out there about where I charge once I get out there. Charging anxiety is a double-edged sword. It doesn't just affect travelers, it also affects our hosts. For me, this looks like when I go to rural Idaho and visit my grandmother, I have to plug in at an RV park and sleep under the stars one night just so I have enough energy to get around for the week. So our solution to this problem is to use software to make peer-to-peer EV charging frictionless. So you can think of Ranger EV as a Venmo for driveway EV chargers. And it allows hosts to safely share energy with their guests. And it turns hosts into energy sellers and allows them to attract more EV travelers to their business. Our initial customers are Instagrammable vacation rental hosts at adventurous travel destinations. And we distinguish ourselves from competitors because we're focused on filling in all the charging deserts at places we love to play in the outdoors. We pulled together the perfect team to go after this opportunity. We have over 50,000 miles traveled in our electric vehicles, and combined we have over 30 years experience in software development, servicing hospitality, e-commerce, and energy platforms. Key part of our go-to-market strategy is using property management companies as channel partners. And we're in talks with property management companies that'll give us both regional and national scale. Also a part of our go-to-market strategy, we want to reach you through social channels, i.e. the Rivian Owners Clubs of America and the like. So that's Ranger EV. Let's build a Ranger recreational network together, and let's build a better way to get out there. Thank you.
Excellent. Great pitch. Judges.
I guess when you're on vacation, the last thing you want is to stress about anything, so you get to avoid that stress. Talk to us about the equation that involves the investment that the VRB owner makes and the $15 a night or day revenue. Talk to me about how that equation works.
Yeah. First off, our business model is made up of 3 buckets. So we get fees on energy transactions. We charge monthly subscription fees from hosts, and then we also have fees from data licensing. So the way it'll work for a host is you can expect to pay between $1,000 and $2,000 to install a destination or level 2 charger at your property without any incentives. We would expect that if you had about 7 EV travelers a month stay at your property, you would pay that off in about 18 months. But what we're hearing from our initial customers on the Oregon coast, what they're way more interested in is highlighting their property on social channels and attracting those additional bookings from Rivian owners. So our first ranger station host, he basically said, yeah, I love it. I won't see the energy cost on my energy bill, but what I would really love is if you can just send me 1 or 2 extra bookings a month from an EV traveler, I would love this solution.
Wonderful.
And just to follow up on that, what, in terms of the users you have so far, how much, let's say, have they made from charging, and kind of what your revenue was based off that?
We have just gone live with the ranger stations out at the coast, and we're preparing to do some marketing on social channels to highlight these properties so we can start getting our first EV travelers.
Okay, so how are you different than the Blink charger that I could have installed at my house 11 years ago? And also run a cord out to the street.
And also what?
Run a cord out to the street and charge for it.
So to the best of my knowledge, Blink doesn't allow you to sell energy. And as an individual, as a vacation rental host, and one key feature that we offer to ranger station hosts is that you get to set the price. So you get to designate different categories of guests at your property. So you can set a friends and family price for when your friends come and just want to square up, or make it free, and then you can have a highly monetized price of energy for your vacation rental guests. Also, we're strictly software. So we work with off-the-shelf hardware charger solutions that we connect to via Wi-Fi.
And who maintains those?
The host is responsible, but as we're learning, the property management companies are key for us, because since they're excited for our solution to offer to their owners, we're a key amenity that a lot of owners want. The maintenance managers at those companies are happy to make sure everything stays kosher with the charger.
That sounds great. Do I have any other questions from the audience here? Yes. Is there a plan to address the total market beyond Airbnb owners?
Absolutely.
Rivian owners.
No ill will against Tesla drivers, Ford Lightning drivers. If you are driving a vehicle that doesn't burn fossil fuels, if you have a plug-in hybrid and you want a place to plug in overnight, our solution is great for you. So yes, all EVs. The level 2 charging is easy because even though there are 2 ports, everyone sort of has the one adapter that you need. So yeah, all EVs. The key thing for us, and that's why it's great to be in Bend, is we get these. So what we hear from customers in Portland, families tend to have 2 vehicles. They keep a second internal combustion car just because they don't want to take it out on their trips on the weekend with their family. So if we can solve the problem of that charging anxiety, they don't have to hold on to that second gasoline car, and they can go electric.
Well, this is incredible and an excellent pitch, so thank you, and I'm wishing you all the luck, Brian. Yeah, thanks for joining us.
You give it to the next person.
Next person. Yo.
Our third early stage company is Fordje out of Portland, Oregon. They are an AI software program platform to help construction developers and cities clarify city codes, allowing both markets to build faster the first time. Take it away.
Hi everybody, I am Jillian Wildfire from Fordje, where we are clarifying city codes so that everyone can build housing and clean tech faster. Who here has had to deal with city codes before? Okay, I heard some groans. Yeah, you know my pain. I had to do some structural work on my house, so I did a bunch of research. I submitted my structural permit and it got approved, which was really exciting. And then I submitted my permit for fire, and they rejected it. And when I asked why, they said, oh, well, your structural information's incorrect. And I was like, no, I got that approved already. And they said, oh, well, we don't agree with the interpretation. And I said, well, what do I do? And they said, I don't know. So I spent 9 months making those two departments work together so I could get them to agree on their own city codes. And when you're a builder trying to build across 28,000 municipalities in the United States, it is impossible. There's no way to scale. And the research shows that over 11% of US construction spend every year is spent on this problem alone. People are doing research trying to figure out what those codes are. They're getting their permits rejected. They're getting inspections rejected. They have to redo projects because of it. That is $238 billion of waste every single year. And that means that people are spending all this time and they're still unable to move forward, which means that they might have their project delayed, which means that they might have they might not have funding anymore, which means they might lose their project and then maybe their company. And if you talk to a couple dozen different cities like we do, they have the same problems. They are having to handhold for hundreds of hours their citizens and developers through these issues. They might accidentally put these conflicts into their codes, like I just mentioned. And they, like developers, would love a national repository of codes so they can quickly see what's working other places instead of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to figure it out, and then put it into what their city's needs are. So, meet Fordje. We are like the Plaid of city codes. Cities upload their codes. Our AI transforms thousands of pages of codes into a queryable interface which summarizes the code needs and points back to the code so you can figure out exactly what you need. And it also solves problems for cities. They don't have to do all that hand-holding. They don't have to find those conflicts after they are actually put out there. And because of that, cities are incentivized to keep their codes up to date. And developers can just take that information and run with it, knowing that's accurate. Our team has worked together on problems like this for over 3 years now. We have experience in SaaS, climate tech, and construction. And our TAM is a $16.4 billion TAM just for residential, commercial, and clean tech, with an opportunity to expand into other verticals. It's actually really easy to do right now. And we can go internationally as well, where they desperately need this. We have a B2B and B2G SaaS subscription model. And our current design partners are really pumped about what we're building and are asking us to expand super, super fast. So that is why we're here, is to get more people on board so that we can build the cities that we all are hoping to build. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent pitch. Judges?
Okay, say more about who you sell to.
So we primarily sell to developers. We have found that they already have relationships with most of the cities they're working with, so they can work with us to talk to cities to get them involved. But the developers are the ones who are desperate for this. And when my co-founders and I worked at a climate tech company before, this was the problem we ran into over and over and over again. And so we know the need out there really well.
Can you tell a little bit more about how much it costs, or?
Yeah, so when we tried to buy from somebody like CoreLogic, which is one of our biggest competitors, we would spend about $200,000 a year. That's not the question you asked, on this problem alone, and we'd still have about a 20% rejection rate. So our SaaS model really goes from a small developer who's looking at 5 to 10 metro areas, that can be like a lower, like $10,000 rate for the year. And it really comes up to usage, so you can go up to a much larger amount when you go to a national level. And we are doing paid pilots with cities and also getting them involved as well, so we can help solve their problems.
And say more about what the incentive is on the behalf of the city to spend time.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, there's a lot of hand-holding, like hundreds of hours of hand-holding on this with developers and citizens. Imagine being able to go in, knowing all of your needs to those cities, and they can just say, this is what we need, looks like you're ready to go, and approve it to go forward. And those code conflicts, like I mentioned, those are being introduced, especially at larger cities, all the time. So City of Portland, I talked to them, and they were like, we have 35 departments. We have no idea how to check across departments before we put codes out there, so we just introduce conflicts all the time, and we expect citizens to come to us and let us know, like I had to. And so we can avoid that, or you can find conflicts that exist already. And then, like I mentioned, we will have a national repository instead of having to spend a lot of headcount or get a consultant to go find new codes if you're trying to electrify your city, or if you're trying to figure out how to put ADUs in or help with the housing crisis. Rather than having to go do your own research, within seconds, you can find cities like yours with similar attributes and participate and find those. Oh, no.
And tell me more about how that actually works from an AI standpoint. How is it actually finding those conflicts? How is it in ambiguous code situations? How is it actually getting you a clear answer?
Yeah, so we use a RAG model, if people are excited about AI, and a natural language processor. So it takes those thousands of pages of codes, and it's able to synthesize and create a summary really easily. We're trying to get to a 5th grade reading level for people that aren't, native English speakers or other things. And then it can also point directly to the codes so that you can go learn more about them. And it's just able to synthesize that within a quick summary, and then you can go learn more.
It seems like you've really thought of everything. It's really quite impressive. Do I have questions from the audience for Fordje? Jen?
Why wouldn't a builder pay you $10,000 to get this database?
So we're pretty early. So far we haven't really had any objections. I think it comes down to often with builders, it is they're used to working in spreadsheets. That is really what we're going to go past is, oh, I didn't realize this was possible. And that's the same with cities. I didn't realize it was possible. So educating them is part of the process.
Aren't codes public? Aren't they just on?
Totally. They are, 70% of codes are in PDFs on websites. Unsearchable. The other 30%, we got somebody laughing out here, he gets it. The other 30% are on a software, but the search is really terrible. So if you go search for arbor, you might get everything that says harbor. And so you still have hundreds of pages to comb through. It's very difficult.
Well, I think this is great. I think you're really onto something here, and beautiful pitch. Thanks for being here. Best of luck to you.
Cool. Talk to me about how sexy city codes are.
4th early stage company, Howl at the Spoon out of Beaverton, Oregon, is dedicated to revolutionizing the culinary experience by providing first-to-market, high-quality, perfectly portioned sauce singles that simplify meal planning and enhance clean eating. Take it away, Howl at the Spoon.
In the next 3 minutes, over 1.5 million single-serve snacks will be consumed in the United States alone, proving convenience is king. But where's the convenient solution when it comes to adding vibrant flavor to healthy meals? This question led me down a path to pioneer the first-to-market line of single-serve artisan sauces. Now you can simply rip, tip, drip your way to incredible flavor in an instant. My journey at Howl at the Spoon began in the outdoors, with a habit of hoarding condiment packs to flavor future backpacking meals. But as the demand grew, so did the vision, into creating restaurant-quality flavor that's both affordable and accessible wherever life takes you, whether it's on a trail, at the office, or at home. Our chef-crafted blends are made in small batches, using only plant-based, all-natural ingredients. We're saying no to the ingredients that are plaguing our food systems today, from refined sugar, high sodium, junk oils, chemicals, and preservatives. Our perfectly portioned blends are hitting 3 major trends in the industry right now. First, the wellness food market, expected to double by 2030 to $232 billion. Next, the thriving plant-based space, expected to triple by 2030 to $39 billion. And last but certainly not least, convenience, which post-pandemic has hit an all-time high, with 48% of consumers seeking convenient solutions. I acquired our first 15,000 customers with the lost art of human connection. I've worked over 450 events from Seattle to Bend to San Francisco. I've used this critical data to inform and iterate into the brand you see today. As a one-woman operation, I've handmade and sold over 80,000 units. I've secured 40 retail placements, and I'm aiming for a 60% margin at scale. These grassroots efforts have also garnered us significant media attention, both regionally and nationally, as well as a growing list of awards and nominations. With our current round of fundraising, we'll be scaling our e-com and B2B channels. We'll be securing 300 regional retail doors, as well as raising our revenue by 300% over the next 18 months. This will help us tap into the 150 million US consumers craving convenience. So let me ask you, isn't your next meal worthy of something better? Let's ditch the sauce graveyard dying in your fridge door and create the future of flavor together, one sauce at a time.
I'm totally in. Beautiful pitch. Judges, take it away.
Combining convenience with quality is wonderful. I'd love to hear about it. My question is, where would a consumer find this in a retail grocery store?
It's in the sauce aisle. It's doing really well on butcher counters, even though we are plant-based. We're doing really well at fishmongers along the coast. Currently, it does sit in the sauce aisle, but we are thinking of testing it in the condiment space as well. We're up against all the bottled sauces in the sauce aisle. Our colors are really vibrant. They pop, so we're kind of jumping off the shelf. We've increased case restock orders by 200% year over year.
And how do you plan to address the scalability of your product?
So I'm a self-manufactured product. I'm going to keep manufacturing in Oregon. I don't do co-packing. Everything we do is by hand. So we will scale heads. There are machines that when I get to orders of 25,000 units, that we will extend our manufacturing into a self space. And at that point, I can start pushing out the orders of 25,000, which we are kind of being asked for currently. So.
Okay, so tell us a few of the flavors.
Yes.
And also, there's 5 of us. Do I have to buy 5 when I'm cooking for my whole family?
So, I'm sorry, I missed the last part.
Do I have to buy 5 packets to cook for a family?
Oh, sorry. No, each packet can go with a pound of meat, whether you're using it as a mix-in with meats, you're using it as a marinade. But if you're going to work bowls of rice and chickens and salads, just rip, tip, drip a pack right on it. So it's a pretty saucy pack, so I'd say you get a few bowls out of it. Our flavors are al pastor, chimichurri, savory marionberry, and lemon dill. We are going to be scaling and jumping into the breakfast aisle with fruit-based compotes you could put directly onto your yogurt and your oatmeal that will also not contain sugar.
And where can our Bend folks find you right now?
Our biggest store is Bend Market of Choice. They're phenomenal, they're amazing, and we jump off the shelf there. So you can find us in the sauce aisle there.
I love this. I'm a sauce person myself. I think it really is like it makes the difference and makes cooking very, very easy. Yes. Are the packets resealable?
They're not because they're a single serve. You can, if you use half a pack, they're pantry stable 1 year. If you use half a pack, put it into something sealable for the air not to get in. Good for up to 3 weeks because they are vinegar based. It's called an acidified food.
Sure.
So they'll last in the fridge for up to 3 weeks.
What's your favorite flavor?
My first sauce was lemon dill. You could put it right in a can of tuna, Greek salad, salmon, orzo, so it goes on everything. Savory marionberry is the favorite for regional because it's not sweet. And chimichurri, always a big...
I'm always in the mood for chimichurri. Do I have any questions from the... Yes, right here. Are you planning on working with meal kits like Blue Apron or things like this?
Yes, so we are always equated to the best part of a meal kit. So we have talked to Purple Carrot, we've talked to HelloFresh, we've talked to Blue Apron. They do a similar kind of sauce packaging themselves, so they haven't had the need for us yet, but we are still in conversations with them.
What's the price point?
So at retail, it's $3.49, and for wholesale, we're selling it out at $2. We do have farm shops selling it at $3.99.
And any plans for new flavor releases?
Yes, so we're thinking of ginger, garlic, really light, thin teriyaki, and again, I want to start getting to work on our fruit flavors. Also lemongrass. I want to start a savory lemongrass.
Love it, love it. I think, was there one other question right over here? Yes. Do they have gluten? Are they gluten-free?
Right.
How are you on allergies?
Our sauces don't have any allergens in them. I work in a shared space. I can't control the ventilation systems as we scale. I can get into a single space where I can get the gluten certification. So they don't have gluten in them, but I go in at 5 a.m. after the cleaners, and I don't go near the bakers, but I can't control the ventilation systems as we scale. All the organic certifications, fair trade, gluten will come with that because we are all those things.
This is just fantastic. Great pitch. Thanks for being here. Good luck.
Thank you.
Very saucy. Fifth early stage company, HumanKind Homes out of Portland, Oregon, develops, builds, and sells healthy and sustainable homes priced to be affordable to those making 80 to 120% of the area media income. Welcome, HumanKind Homes.
Check. All right, cool. Hi, thank you. So, my name is Elliot. I'm the founder and CEO of HumanKind Homes. What we do is we build and sell high-quality homes for the mid-market using our proprietary technologies. So I'll break that down what that means. When I say we design, build, and sell, I mean we do the entire thing. So we find the land to develop, we design the home, we pre-manufacture the components, we assemble it all on site, and then we sell it directly to the housing market using realtor partners. So the market we're going into is the mid-market housing market. So we're looking at people that are earning too much to be eligible for government subsidies, but not enough to be able to afford market rate housing. So this is people generally making 80 to 120% AMI. So that's workforce housing, and we will build infill housing. So that's duplexes, quadplexes, cottage clusters, ADUs, that kind of home to address that market. But we also believe that low cost doesn't have to mean low quality, and we are very mission driven for building healthy and sustainable housing. So standard in every one of our homes, they're all electric and net zero energy ready. They have radiant floor heating, hot water heat pumps, smart home controls, EV chargers, the basically suite of quality of life improvements that we believe everyone deserves to live in. Now, the way we can provide such high quality homes at such affordable rates is we've developed a completely new proprietary construction technology. So the way to think about it is giant Lego blocks. So we've designed a kit of interlocking bricks, beams, panels, and columns that interlock together to build the entire superstructure. So foundation, floors, walls, roof. We even have a foaming version of our material that we use to do the insulating siding panels and the drywall. All of this is made out of a single material, geopolymer concrete. Now what we've managed to do is condense all of the dozens of different components needed to build a home and replace them with this single material, which is an ultra-high performance concrete. It also has about a 90% reduction in the embodied carbon emissions compared to regular concrete. So that way we're not only building net zero energy ready homes, but the carbon emissions from the manufacturing and the transportation are also as low as we can get them. Thank you. So what we've been doing for the last few years is spending our time developing this technology. We've just started the process of getting it certified in the International Building Code. We've also started getting a utility patent on it. And we've just been in talks with a group of employers in Newburgh who are struggling to find workers because their workers can't find housing. So they've provided us some seed funding to build out our manufacturing space and build a demonstration unit so that we can then finish the testing, go through and get certified, and then build 4 housing units in Newburgh, Oregon that'll be affordable to the workforce market.
Amazing.
Thanks.
Amazing. Judges, take it away.
Yeah. So are you priced by the house, or are you selling the materials? If you could talk about that. And then how are you quality testing for long-term durability as well?
Yeah, both good questions. So we sell the home. Our construction costs, so the hard cost of home sales price is about 61% of the total sales price. We reduce that price by about 25%, even after all those quality of life improvements. So we can see about a 15 to 20% reduction in the total sales price. It's super dependent on the specific property though. Right now, we're working with those employers and the city of Newburgh to find land that they have available that will address the needs, and trying to create a template that we can then use in other cities to map what land is available within the urban growth boundary and what projects can be built there.
Can you say more about the material, and are people building houses out of it today?
Yes, so people are not building houses out of it today, but it is used. It's considered an ultra high performance concrete. So it's used right now to build bridges and tunnels where they need the high strength. The problem is it costs more pound for pound than regular concrete, so it's not used normally. By removing all of the other parts of the supply chain and all the other labor components, that's how we managed to get the costs down so we can use this improved material. It's an amazing material. It can be made from a variety of different local recycled materials. So we're using fly ash, which is a byproduct of coal power plants. As power plants are being turned down, though, that will be a diminishing resource. So what we can do is go into each new region, find the local recycled materials there, and then design our mix based on what's local there. So one of our advisors recently told us that some of the homes and forests that burned down a few years ago, we could actually take the ash from those trees, turn them into bricks, and rebuild housing right there with that.
Wow, that's impressive. Don, did you have a question?
Well, it's hard to go very far in a day and not hear how the shortage of housing impacts us negatively. So fantastic. Question is that your current market is Portland Metro, it sounds like. What are your thoughts? I mean, there's plenty of need there, but what are your thoughts about Portland Metro in the next market?
Yeah, so we're actually designing to scale a lot. I've had senators, city managers, and Congress people reaching out to us asking about where we can go. I was just speaking with a senator up in Washington about how we can get up there for our second pilot project. So we're starting with this first one to build smaller homes, single story, to prove out the technology. Then the next pilot project will be another town in Oregon, nowhere near Portland, hopefully. We want to actually branch out a little bit to show how we can interact and build what's appropriate in different communities. And so then we'll scale up kind of both multi-story and then the scope of what we can build with the different cities.
I have a short add-on question to that, and that is the impact on the trades that build homes today is tough to get and volatile. Does this impact that, or is it different trades? Are they specialists, or how does it work?
It would be very different trades. Our goal is to work with the existing people in the industry and figure out how we can integrate our system with them. The feedback we've gotten is they want to see us build it out first before they try it. So that's our plan, is we'll do that, and then once we have the kind of internal knowledge, then we can teach it to them, either license our technology or just bring them into using this technology.
Can you say more about your team?
Yeah, so it's me and my co-founder, who's also my cousin, Dane. I'm the mechanical engineer. My specialty is in manufacturing optimization and product design, so I'm working on the kind of how do you make it. He's the designer, architectural designer, so he's working on what the homes are looking like. And then we just brought in Maria, who's in Texas, actually. She's our COO and kind of turning this solution into an actual business, and she just joined last month.
So my house that I'm currently living in is slowly returning itself to the earth day by day. I can see it happening. I'm wondering, how quickly can we get this to the people, do you think? What's your timeline looking like?
When's the first house in the ground?
The first house in the ground, hopefully in early to mid 2026. So we have a bit of a road to get through the International Building Code certification. We have to do a lot of testing. We've done our own internal testing, and we need to keep going through that, but we need the third party, accredited. And so that's where the kind of long timeline before we can build our first home.
Okay, I think I can hang on till then. This is amazing. Thanks so much, and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really brilliant stuff. Our sixth early stage company is KickPlan Inc. out of Portland, Oregon. They are a comprehensive SaaS solution that provides developer-friendly infrastructure for billing, pricing, feature access control, and metric instrumentation, and an intuitive web console for management. Take it away.
That was a lot of buzzwords. I'm Will Clark, founder of KickPlan. I'm going to try not to hit you with as many buzzwords there. So I started KickPlan based on my experience building other SaaS companies. I thought it would be a lot easier, and it turns out you have to write an incredible amount of software that your customers just don't care about at all. So you've all bought software, whether it's Netflix or Dropbox or whatever, and you go to the pricing page and you look at the price, and it seems very simple, but what you find out is there's actually 5 or 6 different underlying systems to deliver that software to you, deliver the thing that you bought. And right now, you have to build most of those yourself. So there's 20,000 SaaS companies in the world that have raised some amount of venture capital, and every single one of them are building 1, 2, 3, or all 5 or 6 of these systems. It's very easy to take a credit card, and when I say monetization infrastructure, that's typically where people's heads go, is, oh, you help people take credit cards. But if you have ever done accounting, if you've ever done finance, if you've ever worked at a SaaS company, it turns out that the credit card's the easy part. It's delivering your product to the customers in the configuration that you promised, and doing all and tracking their usage and billing them for whatever they're doing in your product that is the hard part. So that's where we come in. Just like Rippling has come into the HR space and provided a product that does not just payroll, but all the different things you need for the HR function, we've come into the monetization space, and we provide solutions in each of the different categories you need. So I typically talk to CTOs at SaaS companies or engineers at SaaS companies, and I say, hey, is this a problem for you? Do you have great systems? And not a single person tells me they love their finance system, or they love how they do accounting, or how they get, all of their metrics into a single place for people to do reports. I'll use Ranger EV. So he was up here and he described that he has multiple customers. He has 3 sources of revenue. There's a lot of underlying software that it takes to actually implement that in the world, and none of his customers actually care about any of that. So that's where we come in. We help people solve all those problems. They don't have to write a bunch of code. We have customers that have literally never written a single line of code that involves our systems. We connect to all those other places that they need, wherever they're selling their software, however they're taking payments, and wherever they're doing accounting, and we solve that problem for all of them. I mentioned this was based on our experience. My co-founder has 20 years of experience building SaaS companies. I have 15 years of experience building SaaS companies, and there's just never been a solution in the market quite like this.
Incredible, great pitch. Judges, what do you got?
What's your traction been so far? Who's your target customer? What does your go-to-market look like?
Yeah, our target customer is larger SaaS companies, so typically have raised a Series A or Series B or later. We have customers that are private equity owned, and down to we have a few seed stage companies that have been doing it for a while. Our go-to-market is typically a developer experience type of approach, similar to other developer tools like Twilio or something like that. We provide some really easy-to-use tools that abstract away the complexity that developers at these companies face. But we also have a go-to-market channel through pricing consultants, because most of these companies, at some point, someone on their board goes, hey, you guys should really optimize your pricing, and they pay a consultant somewhere between $50,000 and $250,000 to tell them how to do it, and then they say, actually, we can't do that because our systems won't let us. So we've talked to a number of pricing consultants, and we're actually working with a couple in partnership where they tried to help a customer, and their customer literally couldn't do it because the systems that they had built and cobbled together won't allow them to do that.
Okay, so talk about some of the perfect integrations. So a perfect customer is already using what? Curly or whatever.
Yeah, so Stripe is kind of the 800-pound gorilla in SaaS, right? Most people start out on Stripe and they get kicked off or they move on or whatever, right? But you start out on Stripe, so we integrate perfectly with Stripe. We complement Stripe. We're not trying to process your credit cards. But we also typically work with companies that have 2 or 3 or more different types of revenue. So the company I started previously was a streaming platform. We were doing payments, and we were also doing subscriptions. That's 2, and you just multiply that out to 3, 4, 5, and it adds a lot of complexity. So it's typically Stripe and Shopify, or Stripe and the AWS Marketplace, something like that.
Are people paying you for this right now, and what?
Yeah, so we do have customers. We do have revenue. We're not super early, but we are still kind of early in that process. We charge based on usage. I think somebody else mentioned charging based on usage. It's sort of the trend right now. But we also do an integration fee, and that really just depends on how many sources of revenue you have. So that typically is somewhere plus or minus at $20,000 to integrate, and somewhere around $1,000 a month.
Unamas. So how would you work with someone like Merge, an API company that integrates permanently all kinds of applications? How does your product compare to that model? It seems similar, but more focused.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely more focused. We also integrate with, we have 140 different connectors to other underlying systems. Typically what we do, a lot of companies will already have Merge or some other sort of like data pipeline tool, and we'll come in and connect to wherever their data lives, and then actually build the sort of business logic on top of that data. So a data that you can get a report from is great, but data that's actionable is much more useful. So if you currently have a report that you get from some data pipeline of your billing, and you have people who are manually creating invoices, as is actually one of our customers, this is what they were doing, we can come in and help automate those things. We can also automate entitlements, what happens when someone cancels, how do you turn off their account, things like that, all without really writing low or any code.
Okay. Okay, I think we have lots more questions, but we'll cut it for now. This is incredible. My biggest question is, what's your exit strategy? So let's chat about that after the program. But really well done, Will, and good luck to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Our 7th early stage company, Mesh, out of Bend, Oregon, an iOS fitness, health, and wellness application that increases personal accountability, improves mental health, and brings community together through activity. Welcome and take it away.
Hello. My name's Ashley Stell. I'm co-founder of Mesh. Me and my partner, Brad, just recently moved to the Bend area, and we've been loving everything everyone's doing, such as rock climbing and mountain biking. But the idea of us going up to someone at a coffee shop or at a trail is just way too awkward for us as introverts. So, and we're not alone in this. 1 in 2 people experience loneliness. They lack social connection due to remote work and social media usage. So I turned to other apps like Peanut and Bumble BFF, which are made for making new friends. But it just dropped me in a chat experience that I felt just as uncomfortable in. So we thought, how can people meet with taking the focus away from them and onto something else, like an activity? And this is how we started Mesh. Our app gives you access to people in the community to do activities with on demand. Our Mesh algorithm takes into account multiple data points, such as your location, activities you enjoy, your activity level, and your availability, and it creates a mesh. And what we call a mesh is a group of 3 to 5 individuals meeting together at a specific location, time, date to do an activity together. A real-world example of this would be, I want to go mountain biking tomorrow at 2 p.m., and I might invite one friend. But Mesh will find the rest, and it'll find a route that works for us based on our skill level. The fitness app industry is currently at $5 billion, on its way to $25 billion in the next 10 years, and we want to be a part of that. People are pretty comfortable with this today. If you've ever called an Uber, you meet someone for the very first time. If you entered the dating scene, you would be meeting that person for the very first time. Brad and I have built over a dozen apps across web and mobile, in consumer and enterprise, and we really believe in quality the very first time. Still built to scale and flexible to learn from our users. We're currently very early. We have over 50 people ready to be our alpha users, and then we'll move to our big goal of 15,000 in the greater Bend area on a freemium subscription model at $7.99 a month. After that, we'll take that and we'll duplicate it across other outdoor-focused industries, or cities, like Boulder and Asheville. And then we'll expand to bigger places like Austin and Denver and Seattle. Mesh is more than just an iOS app. It will eventually be targeting enterprises as a web application to help their remote workers. But it is also a movement, bringing you away from your phone and into the real world, the new generation of social media called Real Social.
This is beautiful. Really well done. Judges, I know you have questions for Mesh.
Okay, so talk about how you get from 50 to 15,000.
Well, beyond word of mouth, so sponsoring all the different activity events in the Bend area. Of course, social media as well, so digital marketing. So we'll be just doing a really big push. Also word of mouth. So a Mesh, you can invite people you know as well. So we're hoping to get a lot of signups that way. You might invite 1 or 2 people that you already know in the area, and then have 2 more to join you for, let's say, pickleball.
Talk more about your go-to-market and what that looks like for not only Bend, but then what does kind of this year look like and the next year in terms of not only revenue, but scale?
Yeah, so we're going to make sure that we have a list to sign up for at first when we start entering these communities, because it's really important that we have multiple people for others to mesh with before starting. We'll be unlocking activity by activity based on the interest. That's my answer.
I think this sounds great. I mean, I know people are just getting so kind of fed up with dating apps, and so we really are turning to our friendships more and more. And with you're moving, you're like you said, you're working from home, like you need a solution like this. And so I'm just, you don't have anyone using it just yet.
No, we're about a month out
About a
from
month out.
releasing alpha. Yes.
I'm ready to give you my email. Okay, do I have questions from the audience? Yes. Do you have family-friendly events? That's a great question.
I mean, it's activity-based, so anything. It can be walking, it can be gardening. We're gonna see based on the different areas what everyone's interested in, but it'll be something that supports your mental and your physical health.
As someone who has not ever online dated, what is $7.99 a month? Like, what is that? Is that a lot? Is that a little?
It's comparable in the industry. So if we look at like All Trails Premium or we look at Strava, it's a very reasonable amount, and that's where we're getting some of that information and data is from other fitness and social apps.
And how do you picture, whether it's another studio in town or other outdoor groups, what does that look like and how you could work with them?
So we do have plans to support local bend groups that already exist today, like ski clubs, and give them access to their members via meshing. So that means they could mesh with each other. So I want to mesh with another group, member of the ski group. Also small businesses. So if you're gonna do Pilates for the first time, we're gonna pair with the Pilates gym or rock climbing, a few people that wanna try it. So it will be a kind of a win-win for businesses in our app.
And you would monetize that?
Yes, for sure.
It seems like it would work for like group strength training would be awesome for something like this where you're just getting into a new activity, you don't want to go by yourself. So you mesh with some folks and there you have it. Jen.
So which of you is one of you your partner an iPhone developer or like what? Where did
Yeah,
the team come
so
from?
my partner, Brad, is a back-end, front-end developer. He has a master's in computer science and a focus on AI. And then I've been doing product design and direction and management for my whole career.
Well, this is just so exciting. I love it. I can't wait to see it like come to life. And I'm really excited that it's going to be starting here in Bend. Beautiful pitch.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
See you soon. Sponsor Umpqua Bank is a proud sponsor of the EDCO PubTalk series. At Umpqua Bank, our local bankers proudly serve our community by providing the expertise to help build and maintain meaningful relationships. Umpqua Bank, together for better. Our 8th early stage company is the Offer House out of Eugene, Oregon, a simplified online platform that allows buyers to purchase a home without a realtor. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lan Binren, and I'm the co-founder of Offer House. Offer House is an online real estate platform to allow home buyers to write your own offers and handle everything else all in one place. No buyers, realtors needed, no commissions. We created this platform as a direct solution to the recent settlement between the home sellers and the National Association of Realtors. The settlement states that home sellers no longer have to pay buyers' realtors' commissions. Now home buyers will have to. This is a huge change because in the past, home sellers pay zero in commissions. The average price in Bend in 2023 is about $700,000. When you call a realtor to write an offer for you, you will be asking in commitment about paying $20,000 in realtor fees before anything else. Can you save $20,000 and still buy the same dream home? Yes, you can. Offer House is your best friend. For just $500, you can write unlimited offers in 6 months. Here's how Offer House works. The platform will ask you simple questions like address, price, what would you like to include in an offer? The platform will produce an offer for you. You can continue to write counteroffers, addendums, any documents you need. Offer House is a one-stop shop for you, home buyers. our customer to begin with are experienced buyers. About co-founders, I came from China 20 years ago, and I received my PhD in landscape architecture from the University of Oregon. Yes, that's what Asian does, PhD. And while I was teaching, I picked up my real estate license. I'm the top 1 realtor in my company. Believe me, I'm one of the good realtors. About my co-founder, John Penniman, he's from tech, and he quitted his computer engineer job, started his own property management company from 0 to 300, acquired another company, and sold it all together 2 years ago. We also raised $1.1 million and finished the high return real estate development. We know real estate inside out, and the Offer House is gonna launch in 3 days. Yes! Yay! Thank you all.
This is a wild, wild concept. So judges, I'm curious about your questions.
Oh, it's
Yes,
so cool. I'm
please.
so excited about this. Okay. So the buyer's realtor, their magical tool is getting inside that lockbox.
Yes.
Do I still have to have a buyer's agent? Or like, how does this work? How do I get inside that lockbox?
Yes. The magic tool is pick up your phone and call that listing agent. And his job to have to open the door for you to look at it. He has to. It's part of it in his job description. As a seller, if you know your agent is gonna sit home not doing even open the door, he will be in trouble. So he has to, and most of our homes these days on market have open house. You can come in anytime you want. Yes.
The other thing my buyer's agent does is the annoying negotiations. So, like, we disagree on how much, the roof need to be replaced, or we disagree on the condition of the sewer. So how does this help do that?
Yes. So in this way, most of the times, you pick up your phones. Buyers, you can also do the negotiations. And most times, we ask you to put it down about every negotiations. You go to our platform, there are questions asking, hey, have you received a response? Yes or no? You disagree, here create a counteroffer. You write your terms, conditions down. I want 5,000 less and that hot tub. And you send it out. Wait until you get the next response. Just like your realtors do for you. You can do it on your own.
Okay, so what? Sorry, this is my last one. I'm so excited about this.
Go for it.
As a compulsive home buyer, so now it's like, what do? I say to the seller, I also want a $20,000. I want a 2% discount because I know that we don't have to pay the buyer agent. Do I ask for that on my counter? Is that how it works?
So for the seller's agent, seller had an agreement with his realtors. 5%, let's say. Yeah, that's 5% on that side. When buyers write an offer through Offer House, the cover page say, there is no buyer's realtor. You pay no commissions. Okay. So that if your agreement with seller is in 5%, 5%, 3%, 3%. So you do not pay buyer side, and it's so obvious in your face, no one can hide it. Okay. Yeah, and that's where it comes from.
What about a multiple offer situation? I've been in situations where, the seller's agent is really kind of guiding the buyer to which offer to choose, and why would yours not be kind of at the bottom?
Yes, you ask the right person. I'm an expert on multiple offers. When seller receive multiple offers through the seller's agent, everything on the table. Oh, this buyer has a buyer's agent ask a 20,000 commission from seller. And hey, here's an offer from Offer House. No buyer's realtor commissions. You save 20%. And again, seller's agent has to present every offer, no matter what format he received. And it's up to the seller to choose one. And in that one, we really help a buyer to stand up in your offers. Yep, that's where we come from.
I think I probably have questions from the audience. Raise your hand. Okay.
Yes, please.
Oh, yes. This is a great question. So he's saying that oftentimes that buyer's agent provides a lot of value adds. They know the community, they're familiar with the neighborhoods, et cetera. How does this app account for that?
Yes, definitely. Again, I am one of the realtors. We have values, but there are people, like they're experienced buyers, right? They know all about it. And in the future offer house development, we will have a feature for home inspectors, for lenders. We're already talking to the national leaders in lending, and to have a button, hey, here are your options that you can choose from. All that add values can be also part of the offer house to provide it to our home buyers. Thank you.
This is incredible. I know we have some buyer's agent in the crowd maybe feeling a little nervous, but you know what? It's going to work out. You know, we're going to get there.
Everyone will win.
Everyone will win. Thank you so much. This is an incredible pitch. Yeah, good luck to you.
Thank you all.
Our 9th early stage company, Prophetic, out of Portland, Oregon, is a SaaS platform that finds and analyzes real estate development opportunities in seconds, not hours. Take it away, Prophetic.
I'm Oliver, founder and CEO of Prophetic, and there's one thing you really need to know about real estate development. It's governed by zoning. Zoning is the rule book that defines how big you can build, where you can build, what you can build, how much parking you need. You get the idea. The problem is that every single city and county has their own rule book. So if you're a developer, major home builder, or a broker, when you're considering a new development, as soon as you step over that city or county line, throw out the rule book and start over. It's a massively complex and inefficient process. But that is just the start of your work. If you understand the zoning, next, you need to know the market. What are the demographic trends? Who's coming, who's leaving? What are the site constraints of an individual parcel of land? Is it a toxic environmental site? Is it in a flood zone? Are there wetlands present? What is your competition doing? You have to do all this analysis, which is why it takes a seasoned professional 1 to 3 hours to conduct a preliminary development analysis review. And you know what tools they're doing? They're doing this with? Clunky old county websites, Microsoft Excel, and Google Earth Desktop. The nation's largest home builder, a $61 billion company we beta tested with, is using, say it with me, clunky county sites, Excel, and Google Earth Desktop. This process is a mess, and I saw it firsthand as I was scaling my healthcare company here in Oregon. I could not believe how inefficient it was, so I started Prophetic. Prophetic is software that finds and analyzes development opportunities in seconds instead of hours. We've got every single zoning map in our system. We've got key zoning control data like minimum lot size, max height, floor area ratio, impervious coverage percent. You name it, it's in there, but we've also got FEMA flood zone maps. We've got demographic data. We've got proprietary technology that creates an entire site plan for you in 10 seconds. Normally it takes about 4 weeks. The reaction so far from our initial users and customers has been outstanding. In about 2.5 months of being live, they've analyzed over 7,000 pieces of land, 620 searches for development opportunities, and they've toggled on our map layers over 2,200 times. And it's not just an idea. We're generating revenue. Yay. We've got 4 clients signed. We hit 101,000 in ARR in 2.5 months. And I'd like to think that's because we have a pretty stellar team. My engineering co-founders have 46 years of combined full-stack engineering experience. We've got a PhD who runs our AI stuff. We just hired our first sales manager, or director of sales, I should say. He sold CoStar and others for over a decade, and I'm a third-time founder. Prophetic solves a vastly complex problem with an elegant, clean solution that our users love. I'll leave you with one last stat. Of the 96 business days available that our first enterprise client has had access to the system, including beta, they logged in and used it 85 days. That's the value we bring to the table.
Excellent, excellent pitch. Thank you. Judges.
How do you ensure all of that stays up to date?
We work with a lot of different data vendors, national data warehouses who scrape everything from county records to zoning code books, extract that data, timestamp it, and then push updates when we purchase the data, as well as whenever they see an update. It's largely based on scraping tech, so when they detect a change, they pull it, analyze it, and push it to us. We also have our own scraping engine. We built it on a tech called Selenium. So it mimics human behavior and can go pull damn near anything we want it to and put it into our system.
Say more about this like 85 login situation. Like how often really, I guess I don't understand what they are doing so often.
So this client is a major subdivision builder. They build around 350 homes a year. They're trying to scale their home volume numbers, as is every major builder. They have an entire land acquisition team. Each of them is making 6 figures. They're crawling county websites, reacting to brokers, and doing things the old-fashioned way before. With Prophetic, they're now hunters. They're out finding opportunities at their own speed and running laps around their competition. Every dollar that they generate has to go through finding and analyzing the development. So for them, this is like they're in the fast lane on the highway and their competitors are on a bike.
Have they bought anything yet? Bought any land using your research? We're getting there.
We do not track that. We cannot track that. Their privacy is our #1 concern, and making sure that their data stays their data is a key concern of theirs as well.
This seems like a perfect application for AI, taking a complex pile of stuff and making it simpler. My question on your materials, it looks like your customer acquisition costs struck me as high, but your description about your first contacts have been almost a slam, very positive. How does that customer acquisition cost jive?
Well, we've signed 4 of them so far, so we don't have great data on that. But they've largely been introduced via warm intros in our network. And generally, when we talk to these customers, they don't really believe it's possible, what we've built. And then they log in, try it, and they never stop using it. So for us, we're not really focused so much on marketing, but more a hyper-effective director of sales who we just hired. He's got 12 years experience, was employee 30 at LoopNet, helped scale CrowdStreet, John Pearsall, if anyone knows him from the CrowdStreet days. So we're focusing on relationship-based sales and getting in front of the land acquisition teams who start using it nonstop, and then we go to leadership and say, either you need to move faster or your competitors are using it, you want to catch up.
Gotcha. Wonderful. Thanks.
It's great. Okay, yes, right here.
What's your competitive advantage? What's to prevent someone else coming in?
Yeah, great question. What's your competitive advantage? What's to prevent someone else from coming in with the same type of software, a similar type of software?
Yeah, 2-part answer. First off, the complexity of this industry is vast. It takes years to understand how development works at scale. So you need to not only understand development, you have to have an intimate understanding of how zoning works, and then you have to have an intimate understanding of how GIS engineering works to create a platform that's effective. But on top of that, we built the platform about 70% of the way, and then we put it in customers' hands. We beta tested with 4 major home builders and just said, what do you like? What sucks about this? How do you want it to look and feel? And what we were surprised to find is that they want it to be kind of like a CRM for land acquisition. So their ability to save and assemble parcels, group them, put in key data points, who's responsible for the project, leave comments, do map annotations, save them, save their site eye, our subdivision generator output, and then we built them a pipeline. So they have a real-time dashboard of every acquisition in their funnel, which meant now their leadership is logging in and using it. Now their finance team is using it. And now their sales team is studying it because they need to get a head start on which markets they're going into. So it's just kind of gone viral in their orgs.
This is excellent. And like Don said, it's a perfect application for AI. So thank you so much. Great pitch. Good luck. Thanks for being here. Great question from the audience. Our 10th early stage company, I can't believe we're here already. Rose City Robotics out of Portland, Oregon, is an autonomous robotic disassembly that enables direct recycling of lithium-ion EV batteries. Take it away, Rose City Robotics.
Hi, I'm Duncan Miller, a co-founder at Rose City Robotics, and we are solving the EV battery recycling problem with AI robotics. So imagine for a moment that you're an engineer at a recycling plant in charge of disassembling EV batteries by hand. You stand in front of a 1,000-pound EV battery pack, suited up from head to toe in personal protective equipment. Your partner, Don, stands by holding a utility lineman's hook to pull you off the battery if you start to be electrocuted to death. Now, as you start to cut into the battery, you're aware that packed inside are hundreds of cells, which, if punctured, will result in an explosive, toxic fire, like the one which killed 22 people at a lithium-ion battery factory earlier this year. We spoke to one of these engineers. His name is Colin Pelletier, and he said that even though he's done it hundreds of times, each time he takes an angle grinder to an EV battery, he wonders if this time is the time that something will go wrong. So why on earth are we making people do this? Well, these batteries are loaded with valuable metals in short supply and deemed critical to our national security. Manual disassembly recovers the most value from these batteries. The alternative is to use expensive equipment to either burn or shred the batteries whole, which results in higher throughput but lower recovered value. At Rose City Robotics, we have developed a robotic battery disassembly system, which is remotely operated, keeping workers safe while increasing productivity and maximizing value extraction. This smart system learns with AI, gathering knowledge provided by human workers to enhance its capabilities and becoming autonomous over time. We pitched this technology to 5 of the biggest EV battery recyclers in the US, and they confirmed that our technology would be the best way to maximize value extraction at scale, even providing signed letters of support for our grant applications. Our proprietary hardware and software would provide these companies with a competitive advantage in a market that McKinsey forecasts will grow to $12 billion in annual revenue in the next 5 years. That's 2 million tons of EV batteries per year and growing exponentially. Our team is made up of experts in machine learning, computer vision, robotics, and batteries, and we have not come across a competitor that is using our approach. We should not be putting people's lives at risk doing this work, people like Colin Pelletier, and you can help us. Your vote tonight can be a part of the future of our energy independence. Thank you.
Excellent pitch. Wow. Huge, huge problem that you're solving. Wow. Judges.
Why start with terrifying and deadly car batteries? Or does it work on less deadly batteries too?
It would work on less deadly batteries, yes, and that is our intention long-term, is to go down to smaller form factor batteries. The EV batteries, because they're so large, have the most value in them, and so there's the most potential to recover materials from those batteries.
How many places are manually disassembling them in the United States right now?
There's 17 locations in the US that are doing recycling of EV batteries. From our discussion, I'd say probably half of those are using manual disassembly. And they do that because even though it takes 1 to 3 hours to disassemble a battery manually, they're able to recover that value because they're able to extract materials from the batteries that can be reused in second life applications. So it's actually, even though it costs them a lot to disassemble the battery, they're able to recover a lot of value from it.
I am not super proud to admit that I once totaled a Nissan Leaf, but it's kind of like it's like low quality Tupperware. And I guess I sort of thought that the battery just sort of magically disappeared. So what is the supply chain for a recycled EV battery? Is that it? Total cars, or is it old batteries? What is it?
The current market, because EVs are still relatively new and the batteries have a 10 to 15-year lifespan, the current market is primarily production scrap from EV battery manufacturing, so batteries that don't meet testing protocols and things like that, quality checks. But that number will shift to being more retired batteries from vehicles in the next 5 years. And so, yeah, it's batteries that are at their end, at 10 to 15 year end of lifespan, where either the vehicle is still good or the vehicle has entered a scrapyard. They remove the battery, and then that enters the recycling stream.
Can you talk a little bit about more the software and hardware components? Is the hardware proprietary as well? What does that look like to scale it? And then also, you said the other half of the folks are doing it manually. Are the other half just not doing it, or are they using other methods?
The other half are doing the either full pack shredding or burning. And we spoke with recyclers that are scaling from 10,000 tons this year up to 100,000 tons in 2030. And their only option basically to get that scale right now is to move to like a full pack shredding option. And so they would love to find a way to continue disassembly but not put workers at risk and have a more scalable version of that. On the hardware and software, my partner Joe has a PhD in physics and 20 years of experience in machine learning, computer vision. I'm also a software engineer, and this is my third startup. And so we are very experienced on the software side. We also have a team member who has joined, who has expertise in robotics development. And we also have partnered with a company in Portland that is a robotics hardware company. And we also actually are a integrator for the main robotics companies in the US.
Well, this is quite impressive. Dawn, did you have something to add? No, you're good. Okay. Thank you so much. Good luck, and thanks for being here. Rose City Robotics. What an amazing night of startup pitches. Isn't it just incredible how smart these people are and the problems that they're solving and the issues that they're responding to. Special thanks to Matt Hand and his tech team with Hand in Hand Productions for tonight's event streaming and other rooms for those around the Worthy campus. So where's my Washington Trust Bank representative? Okay, here she comes. You guys, who here wants me to keep babbling a little longer? Yeah, cut it off. Get the get the hook. Okay, so we are going to, I think the list is coming up here for me. Oh, we got some joyriders. Hopefully there's no one in the crosswalk, you know. Okay, so this is it. This is the moment. This is so exciting. Okay, are you guys ready? I feel like after all that, now I want to drag it out a little longer. Okay, so our top 5 in no particular order. You are going to BVC next month. Fordje. Howl at the Spoon. Offer House. Prophetic. And Rose City Robotics. Congratulations. And don't forget, we have $3,000 for our lucky winner who's going to take a little bit of money home to help them keep things going, courtesy of Washington Trust Bank, our trusted partner. And that money is going to Rose City Robotics. So come on up here, get your giant check. This is always the hardest part because, you know, they are all truly so amazing. And I hope that everyone that pitched here tonight feels really, really good about what they did, because this has been incredible. Yes? Oh. All right, my friends, I want to say another huge thank you to Washington Trust Bank for stepping up once again to write this check for our audience vote. We are so excited. Thank you, Ashley. You really are the best. Really good to have you here. If you could, for all 10 of our presenting companies, please come up to the stage. We'd love to get a photo with all of you. Congratulations to each and every one of you. I truly mean it. You did an exceptional job tonight. You should be proud, and I hope that you will all come back and give us an update as your companies grow and become successful. So thank you all for coming, for rooting on these entrepreneurs, and thank you for voting. We're going to take a photo with all of our winners, so I'm just going to say goodnight quickly. And everybody get home safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you again next month at Bend Venture Conference. I'm Shannon Kelly. It's been such an honor, and have a great night.